For part 2 of this video, Introduction to Trigonometry, I have a trigonomic ratio chart. Now, back in the good old days when people did not have calculators, this is actually the way that they would do this. So if you'll remember, on part 1 of this video, I very quickly measured the opposite legs and the adjacent legs to reference angle A. Now I want you to pay attention that A was 30 degrees. So opposite over adjacent, we said, was actually a tangent ratio. So tangent 30, by my rough measurements, and I could have measured a little bit more accurately, was a 0.53. So I want you to really focus on the 0.5 because I really didn't measure that accurate. And we did tangent 30. So how you would read this chart is you would first find the tangent column. Notice here is tangent. And then over here is an angle, and all of these angles are in degree. So when I move down and I find 30 degrees, which is right here, and I look over to that last column, I see 0.5774. So I was close, I was 0.53, but it's actually 0.5774, and they've rounded to that place with the 4. Now, what I need for you to know is that this chart is helpful and it's useful. It's great for illustrations, and we will be using this quite a bit. But for our calculations, we are actually going to be using calculators. Now, the big part of this video, I need you to understand the angles are in degrees. So you may not understand this or know this yet, but angles can be measured in many different ways, in particular radians and degrees. So our calculator can approximate these ratios, but first we have to make certain that our calculator is in degree mode. Now, for us, when we're in class, we have our TI-84 calculators. So if you'll look here, I have tangent 30 already keyed in, and it gave me the 0.5735. Now in the textbook it had 4. So it rounded, the 5 rounded the 3 up, but that's the actual trigonomic ratio here. Now, how did it give me that number? Well, I have told the calculator to be in degree mode. So I have to press mode, and it pops up a lot of different options, but I see right there says radian, and right there says degree. So our calculator must be in degree mode. If it is in radian mode, it will not give me the correct answer when I do this. See how that's negative? That doesn't make any sense. It's because my calculator is not in degree mode. So if you're ever doing problems and you get weird answers, always check to see if your calculator is in degree mode. Notice up here at the top, it's telling me this is in degree mode. Now, on a different type of calculator, I had this old scientific calculator actually that I used in high school in my desk here. And it's not this one here. A lot of you all have this one, but you would actually push degree mode on this TI calculator. This is a Casio. And when I power this on, you can see that I have it in degree mode. Now, when you were younger, you may have seen rad on your calculator and had no idea what that is. Rad is actually stands for radian. So that's why that one would be on rad. But I need it in degree mode, so I'm going to hit, I can't hit tangent 30 like on the graphing calculator. I actually have to hit 30 first, then hit tangent, and there is that 0.57735 number. Now, most people, however, these days, they don't have the old scientific calculators just around. You all have your iPhone calculator or your Android. So if I pull up on my phone the typical calculator, you're not going to see anything. But if I turn my phone sideways, I'm going to get this screen. And my phone screen is very dirty at the moment. So here, if you see here, this says radian. When I pop it up there, it says radian. But then DEG for degree popped back down. I need degree. So if it's not there, you're in degree mode. Now, 30 tangent, there's that 0.57735 number again. But I actually do not recommend using this to do your trig homework because tangent 30 doesn't behave like our graphing calculator. It's a little bit, it follows order of operations, so it's a little bit harder to use. So I recommend that you find a good, free calculator app. I have this one. It's EduCalc Classic. It was free. It does have ads in it, but it does have trig button right here. So if I hit the trig button right here, it pops up a very busy menu. Very first thing it asks me, what do you want? I of course want degrees. I want tangent. It pops up tangent. 30 equals, there's that 0.57735 number. So if you don't have a good calculator, I do suggest finding a good free graphing calculator app. Now, I do not want to get too much into radians, but I just kind of want you to know there are two types. There's two ways to measure these angles. For us, we're going to be primarily dealing with degrees in Chapter 7. Just to explain it just a little bit, this is a unit circle, and that's basically what our trig functions are based upon. And it says the circle has radius here. You see this right there, that little thing? And it just wants us to know that this point here, that's on that's unit circle, you can measure these angles two different ways. Notice they switched to theta there. We can do degree measure, which the circumference is just divided up into 360 equal parts. You all know this is 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270, and 360. We are used to that. We did that with rotations. It explains radian measure a little bit here, but it's actually the length of the arc between that radius and this point. The easiest way to explain it is this. If this radius right here is r, radius, and I take a string and I wrap it around and it goes up to here, that is a radian, okay? Radius, radian. There's a lot more to it than that, but just like I said, to keep things simple, I need you all to know that we need degrees for this chapter. When we're in Chapter 10, I will explain radians a little bit better. But for right now, just please know that we need degree on our calculator.